So I'm here at the building site and I have my coffee and my jar of bacon in an old queso jar. That's a special queso jar. I got it, I think somewhere in Texas, because when I was traveling around, obviously I didn't have a refrigerator, so I had to eat the whole jar in like one day, but unfortunately I made barely no progress on that jar, and I was like, you know what, I'm not fucking throwing this away. I'm not throwing it away, I'm keeping it. So now it houses bacon. It's my bacon jar. So now, it is windy out here. Hopefully that's not too big of a problem. Seems like no matter where you go, there's wind, right? Like, what the fuck? So as you can see, there's a metal building right here. And that's true. You know, there is a building right there. And what's also true is that there is a house fairly close to that building as well, wherein I have a very delightful room that I have spent years in already. And I don't feel like spending years in it anymore. I don't feel like spending years in a room anymore, right? I just don't, you know, and someday I will again. Somewhere. You know, you'll always be somewhere, won't you, until you're dead. But yeah, you have to spend your life somewhere, don't you? And not everybody wants to spend it in a house separated from the beauty of nature, right? It's like, look at all the trees. Listen to all the random, like, bugs and stuff. It's like, as long as I have some type of shelter from direct exposure to mosquitoes, for example, which I'm highly, highly allergic to, then, and you know, as long as I have some sunshade, things will be great. So this is a perfect spot right here because it has a fair bit of shade because of this building. And this is pretty much actually the only place where the ground is flat. So it's basically like the only place to really be able to easily do what I'm planning. Today it's kind of overcast and it's going to begin raining for fucking days. So I don't know when exactly I'll be able to start this, but I'm spending most of my time picturing it in my mind, building it in my mind, so I'll know exactly how many pieces of everything that I need. I'll know exactly what I'm gonna do, you know, down to screws and nails and you know, measurements of wood and everything, because the rule is that I'm not cutting anything, right? And cutting saws and all this kind of bullshit doesn't go together. It's just not gonna happen. So I've got to get everything that's already properly cut and measured, which is easy. Like, I've already looked at all of it and I know what I'm working with here. So, you know, you're gonna get to see me out here, hopefully not monumentally failing to build something. Hopefully I'll be able to actually do this. I've never built anything before, but I feel like the accomplishment, the sense of like accomplishment that it would give me would be so great that I just can't resist. And I'm sure it's not going to be what you think, but anyways, I hope that it'll be entertaining along the way. I hope that I'll be able to do it alone, figure out a way to do it alone. It will probably take more time for me to do it alone than it would for somebody to like help me, say, hold up a piece of wood or something. Ultimately, I might have to get someone to help me do that. But in general, I hope to be able to achieve it by myself, because I feel like if I can't do it by myself, it's too much. You know, I should be able to do it by myself, and if I can't, then there's a problem. But with this, I think it's really manageable and achievable. So I'm going to be setting out to do that as soon as the weather permits, as soon as I have the supplies and materials. And it will be very interesting. I look forward to being closer to nature. I look forward to be able to do things like, stargaze, and essentially I'll be living outside. So it's nice to have something to look forward to, and I recommend everybody always have some type of goal, because I never understood the importance of having a goal of some type, any type, until now. Now I can really understand why it's so incredibly important for your mental health and just your general well-being. So I'm gonna eat my jar of bacon and listen to these squeaking tree branches that sound like cats meowing, which is really confusing because there are cats around here. So it's like there's like a new cat here that wasn't here when I left. It's like black and white. It was actually back here when I came back here, and he like ran off. He was like all freaked out. Then there's another cat who stays outside as well. She's great. Her name is Beauteous Maximus, but mostly I just call her Kitty. And then there's another cat actually who lives inside. She does not go outside. So anyways, you'll probably see at least one of those cats. And anyway, I'm excited about this, and it's hard for me to have any kind of downtime wherein I can't really do anything. I can't begin, but I know it's all for a reason, and it gives me plenty of time to think and plan and run across potential problems in my mind before I actually run across them in the middle of trying to do it. I've been called to become closer to nature for at least the past year, maybe longer. And I just didn't see a way to do it, as ridiculous as that seems to sound. It's like I'm very sensitive to, a lot of the things that you find outside. And it's just like, if I'm gonna do it, it's gotta be protected. I have to be adequately protected from the elements and the bugs and stuff like that. So that's what I'm looking to achieve. And it's gonna be quite a show, especially if I'm actually able to do this and build it out, and what I'm gonna do after that. So yeah, there's another metal building across the way, and that metal building is coming apart, and it makes incredibly loud banging sounds that I promise you, once I'm set up out here, it will be dealt with, and that might take a while, but that's gonna get dealt with. So it's like, yeah, it's like, if you have land, why not develop it? Why not do things with it? Why not have outside recreational areas? It's like, why have land if you're not gonna be able to go out there and hang out on it and do so in a comfortable manner? It's a waste. Just like living in a house year after year after year is also a waste. These buildings, somebody built that quite some time ago, and it has not been maintained. or used at all, and everything just falls apart, you know, without being maintained and looked after. It just falls apart. It's very sad, you know. I had actually originally intended to incorporate that building into what I'm doing here, but unfortunately, it's been said that it is very much inundated with wood bees and that it is literally falling apart. So hopefully we can get that dealt with. But the truth of the matter is that this place here is just as good as any other place, because everywhere that you go, you find that they have problems, you know? You're never free of issues, you know? And it's like, I believe in owning land, specifically land, like not even necessarily anything on it, but as I said, you know, it's so important to actually develop it into a usable recreational area. Bacon break. I'm just thinking about all of the breakfast and lunch and dinner I'll be able to enjoy out here if I can actually achieve this. I dedicate this piece of bacon to you, and believe me, it's fucking delicious. All the breakfasts and lunches and dinners that I'll be able to eat out here. Holy mackerel, dude. I can't, I'm obsessed with food. Like, you know, it's hard for me to like think about anything else sometimes, so I'll just get hung up on this loop of all the breakfasts and lunches and dinners I'll be able to have out here. 5 minutes later, all the breakfasts and lunches and dinners I'll be able to have out here, you know, and it's just fucking endless, dude. I'm already like intensely enjoying myself out here. This is a good spot. And the whole point about being exposed to the bugs and the sun and all that kind of stuff, it's like, this is something I pontificated on in the past, is just like coming up with absolutely no solution. It's like, how is it that humans evolved when we are allergic to mosquitoes? Some of us are allergic to mosquitoes, you know, according to evolution. Right? I shouldn't even be alive. Like, I shouldn't even be able to be here and survive. Like, I shouldn't have even gotten here. You know what I mean? Because I'm so weak to it. Like, I guess I survived by doing crazy shit, like building what I'm about to build. I guess that's how I got here. This is just what my kind do. But I'm blessed. Blessed to be here. Blessed to have this area. Blessed to be in the country. There's minimal noise and intrusion out here, so it should be very peaceful, and I'll enjoy hearing the nature around me day and night rather than being in a house where I'm incredibly disconnected from that. So I look forward to it.